Card Runners, how is everyone? This is Rick Mask, and I'm bringing you part one of what should be a three-part series that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a session review at 1-2 Zoom. So, as you guys can probably tell, not going to be live play today. I'm going with a format that I've seen in other videos, and obviously I liked it. So, what I did is I put in a short 1,000 hand session, and what we're going to be reviewing over the next couple of videos is going to be every hand that I V-pipped from that session. So hopefully we'll get, I know for a fact that we'll get some cool spots. We're going to do a little bit of analysis on my play and the play of my opponents. Most importantly, we'll look for mistakes. There should be probably quite a few of them. And hey, we're going to have a lot of fun too. So the plan is to spend, 30 seconds to a minute reviewing each hand. Some hands will take less, some hands might take a little bit more time. And we'll review the session in chronological order. So I've turned off like the one pot and the size of the pot. So be a little bit be some unknowns for you guys. And I've turned off my opponent's hole cards as well. I thought maybe I'd keep them running to keep them on so we could kind of analyze our opponent's play in the showdown pots. But I think this maybe by keeping the hole cards hidden, you guys kind of get to be more in my mind state and won't have your thoughts and opinions swayed by the hands we see at showdown, until showdown. So anyways, kicking things off, this is, okay, so this interesting first hand, very good flop obviously for us. 10-10-3 rainbow, I'm opening to 2.5x on the button. This is a board that is going to be virtually impossible for the big blind to defend enough on. And so they're getting an overlay pre-flop. They're going to be calling with a lot of low, middling cards, all of which whiff this board pretty hard. And so I expect a C-bet with my range to be very, very profitable. And this is probably a board texture where just betting around half pot with your entire range is a very strong play. The name of the game on this board is bet, bet, bet. Even hands like Ace-King can probably bet for value here. We got a check call. Good result, and obviously a great turn for us. This is where this hand kind of gets a little bit uncomfortable for me, and I'll try and walk you guys through my thought process. Obviously very standard looking spot to bet again. I'm not in love with my bet sizing. It's kind of a tricky spot to do analysis on because my thoughts for flop play are that, well, it's a very good, very bettable board for the button raiser, and that the out of position player is going to have to fold very often to a bet. So when they call, they have some pretty reasonable hands in their range, including, I assume, a decent number of 10x and some 3x. This turn, however, for the buttons range, whiffs pretty much everything that bet this flop. And so I'm not going to have a lot of very natural semi-bluffs to continue with. And it's also, this card has improved portions of the big blind's range to, 3 of a kind or full house, I guess. And so with ace-10, I think checking back at 10 on this turn is actually kind of reasonable. At the time, I opted to bet. I feel like holding an ace makes this hand more of a reasonable bet because it's, well, at the time I felt like it was because I felt like it was less likely that my opponent had ace-high, which is a hand that would call the turn a lot. I don't know if logic doesn't seem to hold up. I'm not really too sure what I should be doing with this hand. I think checking and betting are both fine. Sizing-wise, I went for half pot here, thinking that maybe I would continue barreling a little bit on this card and would keep betting hands like, decent pocket pairs. I'm not sure if that's the best approach here or not. It's a hard spot to kind of talk about, but obviously betting, half pot, full house, very good play, Rick. not too bad. As for river sizing, I go 60% pot. Again, kind of going with the idea that I would be betting aggressively for value on this run out. I feel like a bigger bet is probably the way to go here, though. Again, at the time, I thought, bet small, widen my range a little bit. It just seems like I want to be checking back, though, on this turn so often. And this board now, after out of position is called 2 bets, is pretty good for him. So maybe I want to be a little more polarized. I want to size up a little bit, but betting 3 times is clearly a reasonable play with my hand. And we get called for 3 streets by 8-7. I think his This call down is pretty loose. I actually think the flop peel is a mistake, which might surprise some people. This is just a very, very difficult board for the big blind to continue on.